Artemis, daughter of Zeus and the Titaness Leto, twin sister of the radiant Apollo, is one of the most complex and powerful deities in Greek mythology. She is the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals, and the moon, yet she is also a protector of young girls, women in childbirth, and the guardian of chastity. Unlike many Olympian gods, Artemis was independent from the very moment of her birth. Ancient hymns say that after she helped her mother deliver Apollo on the island of Delos, she asked Zeus for eternal virginity, a bow and arrows of silver, and dominion over the forests and mountains where no city walls would bind her. She was the embodiment of untamed nature, fierce, free, and pure. Yet, though she rejected marriage and love, Artemis was deeply protective of her followers, especially maidens who swore to remain chaste like her. Those who honored her received her blessings, those who crossed her faced her unrelenting wrath. Her myths are tales of vengeance, loyalty, and the wild beauty of the natural world. Now, let us explore her greatest myths, told as long, living stories. The Titaness Leto, pursued by the wrath of Hera, wandered the wide earth in torment. Hera, jealous of Zeus's love for Leto, had sworn that no land beneath the sun would shelter her. Mountains turned her away, valleys offered no refuge, and seas raged against her. At last, the tiny, barren island of Delos, barren and windswept, pitied her. Delos swore an oath to hold fast against the sea's waves if Leto bore her children there. And so, under the scorching light of Helios, Leto knelt upon the rocky soil, laboring for 9 days and nights. At dawn on the 10th day, Artemis was born. The child came forth effortlessly, as though the island itself willed her into being. She was serene, her eyes wide and calm, like the stillness of a forest at twilight. Yet there was strength in her, the strength of wild places untamed by man. But Leto's agony was not over. Apollo remained within her, and the pain was unbearable. Artemis, though no more than an infant, touched her mother's brow and whispered in a voice older than her years. "Fear not, mother. I shall be your helper." Guiding Leto's trembling hands, she became midwife, coaxing Apollo into the light of the world. Thus, Artemis's role was set from the moment of her birth, a virgin goddess who would never bear children of her own, yet forever a guardian of women in childbirth. The gods upon Olympus marveled at her dual nature, the calm of the moon and the fierceness of the hunt, and Zeus himself swore to grant her whatever gifts she desired. As Artemis grew, she went to her father and asked not for palaces or thrones, but for freedom. "Father, grant me a bow and arrows of silver. Grant me forests and mountains where no city walls enclose me. Let me roam the wild with maidens like myself, untouched by marriage." Zeus, charmed by her innocence yet awed by her resolve, granted her wish. He gave her eternal virginity, a quiver of silver arrows that never missed their mark, and a retinue of 60 Oceanid nymphs and 20 wood nymphs, all vowed to remain chaste. Together they roamed the wilderness. The sound of Artemis's horn echoed through valleys as deer scattered and boars fled. Her nymphs sang hymns to the goddess of the hunt, garlands of wildflowers in their hair. But when one of their number, Callisto, broke her vow after being seduced by Zeus in disguise, Artemis's fury was cold and merciless. The goddess, discovering the girl's swollen belly, drove her from the circle. Some say she loosed an arrow into Callisto's heart, others tell that Hera turned her into a bear. In time, Callisto, in her bear form, was nearly slain by her own son, Arcas. To prevent this horror, Zeus raised both into the heavens as Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Yet Artemis never forgave. To her, the oath of chastity was sacred, and no betrayal could be excused. Thus the forests themselves seem to whisper, "Artemis is just, but her justice is merciless." In the heat of summer, Actaeon, prince of Thebes and a skilled hunter, led his hounds deep into the forest. The chase of the stag had carried him far, and weary, he stumbled into a hidden glade where a crystal spring bubbled from the rock. There, bathing with her nymphs, was Artemis. Her silver bow leaned against the rock, her hair unbound, her body gleaming like moonlight on water. The nymphs cried out, rushing to shield their mistress, but Actaeon had already seen. Artemis rose, her eyes blazing. "Mortal!" she cried, "you have profaned what no man may behold." Actaeon fell to his knees, stammering that it was by chance he had come there, that he meant no harm. But Artemis's wrath was not tempered by words. Scooping a handful of water from the spring, she flung it upon him, saying, "If you love to gaze upon beasts, then a beast you shall become." His body twisted, bones breaking and reforming, until where once stood a man now trembled a stag, with antlers like branches spreading from his brow. Terrified, Actaeon fled, but his hounds, loyal only to the scent of prey, turned upon him. They tore their master limb from limb, while Artemis watched in silence, her bow untouched. The tale spread across Greece, "Never intrude upon Artemis, for her purity is inviolate, and her vengeance is swifter than the flight of her arrows." When King Ennius of Calydon neglected to honor Artemis with the first fruits of his harvest, she was insulted. To punish him, she sent a monstrous boar, larger than a chariot, its tusks gleaming like bronze blades, to lay waste to the land. The beast ravaged vineyards, tore down orchards, and trampled the wheat fields. Desperate, Ennius called for heroes across Greece to slay the creature. They came in great number: Meleager, son of Ennius, the mighty brothers Castor and Pollux, Theseus, Jason, and others. But among them stood Atalanta, the swift-footed maiden huntress, beloved of Artemis. The hunt was chaos. Spears shattered against the boar's hide, heroes were gored and trampled, and blood soaked the earth. At last, Atalanta loosed an arrow, striking the beast first. Meleager followed, plunging his spear into its side, killing it. Meleager, smitten by Atalanta's beauty and skill, awarded her the boar's hide. But his uncles, jealous that a woman should be so honored, tried to take it from her. Enraged, Meleager slew them, and thus sowed the seeds of tragedy that would destroy his house. In the shadows, Artemis watched. She had not loosed an arrow herself, but her insult had set the events in motion. The hunt was not merely for the boar, it was for pride, and pride brought ruin. Orion, a hunter of giant stature, once crossed paths with Artemis. Some say he was her companion, roaming forests and slaying beasts by her side, others whisper he was her beloved, though she vowed never to wed. Together they hunted across the mountains, their arrows swift, their laughter echoing in the valleys. But Orion's pride grew, and he boasted, "There is no beast upon the earth that I cannot slay." The earth herself, Gaia, heard his boast and, angered, sent forth a scorpion whose sting no man could endure. Orion fell, writhing in agony. Another tale tells that Apollo, jealous of Orion's closeness to his sister, sought to protect Artemis's vow of chastity. He pointed to a small figure swimming far in the sea and challenged Artemis to test her skill. Without hesitation, she loosed an arrow, and when the waves bore Orion's lifeless body to shore, she realized the truth. Her grief was endless. To honor him, she placed him among the stars as the constellation Orion, the hunter forever pursued by the scorpion across the night sky. In Thebes, Niobe, queen and daughter of Tantalus, boasted of her children. Proudly she mocked Leto. "Why worship her, who bore but two, when I, Niobe, am mother of many? Am I not greater than she?" The insult reached Olympus. Artemis and Apollo, loyal children of Leto, descended upon Thebes with bows in hand. The streets ran red as arrows flew. Apollo struck down Niobe's sons where they stood, while Artemis, with unerring aim, slew her daughters. The people wailed as palace halls echoed with screams. Niobe herself, grief-stricken, fled to Mount Sipylus. There, she wept without end, her body trembling with sorrow until the gods, pitying her, transformed her into stone. Yet even as stone, tears trickled down her face, forming a stream that never ceased. Thus, the tale warned mortals, never compare yourself to the gods, for hubris brings only ruin. Though fierce in wrath, Artemis also bore the gentler side of nature. Women in childbirth prayed to her, calling her Eileithyia, helper at the birthing bed. Offerings of robes, toys, and garlands were laid at her shrines. In Sparta, young maidens dedicated their childhood dolls to Artemis before marriage, marking their passage into womanhood. In Broran, girls dressed as bears in her honor during the festival of Artea, symbolizing the wild innocence of youth before entering the bonds of family life. Yet her protection was conditional. To those who pleased her, Artemis granted safe delivery. To those who offended her, she sent death in childbirth, sudden and merciless. In this dual role, she was both savior and destroyer, reflecting the wild paradox of nature itself. The Greek fleet, gathered at Aulis, prepared to sail for Troy. But the winds were still, and the ships could not depart. The seers cast lots, and Calchas, the prophet, declared, "Artemis is angered. Agamemnon, you have offended her, boasting that your hunting skill surpassed hers. Only blood will appease her, the blood of your daughter, Iphigenia." Agamemnon, king of men, was torn. To defy Artemis meant the fleet would never sail, and Greece would not avenge the theft of Helen. To obey meant betraying his own child. Deceitfully, he summoned Iphigenia, telling her she would be wed to Achilles. She came, radiant, innocent, expecting marriage, not death. At the altar of Artemis, priests seized her. She cried out to her father, to her mother Clytemnestra, to the gods themselves. The blade was raised. And then, a miracle. At the final moment, Artemis intervened. A cloud of mist descended, and the maiden vanished. In her place lay a white hind, its blood staining the altar. Some say Artemis carried Iphigenia away to Taurus, across the sea, where she became her priestess in a temple of human sacrifice. Others whisper that she was made immortal, dwelling forever as one of Artemis's attendants. But in every telling, the goddess proved her power. She was not only guardian of maidens, but mistress of life and death, deciding who should fall and who should be spared. In the land of Treason lived Hippolytus, son of Theseus. Handsome, noble, and devoted to chastity, he scorned the love of Aphrodite, choosing instead to worship Artemis, whom he adored for her purity. But Aphrodite, insulted, plotted his ruin. She caused Phaedra, wife of Theseus and stepmother of Hippolytus, to burn with forbidden desire for him. When Hippolytus rejected her advances, Phaedra, shamed and enraged, took her own life, leaving a letter that accused Hippolytus of seduction. Theseus, deceived by her words, cursed his son. As Hippolytus drove his chariot along the shore, Poseidon sent a monstrous bull from the sea. Terrified, the horses bolted, the chariot splintered, and Hippolytus was dragged to his death. In his final breath, Artemis appeared, weeping for her devoted follower. She revealed the truth to Theseus, who was stricken with grief. But it was too late. Artemis swore vengeance on Aphrodite for the cruelty she had wrought. She whispered, "Your day shall come, and I shall strike down your most beloved." And so the eternal feud between chastity and passion, between Artemis and Aphrodite, deepened. Far from Greece, in the savage land of Taurus, the people worshipped Artemis with dreadful rites. Here she was not the gentle maiden goddess, but a bloodthirsty power demanding human sacrifice. Every stranger who set foot upon the shore was seized and led to her altar, where their throats were cut. It was here that Iphigenia, spared at Aulis, served as her priestess. Bound by oath, she carried out the rituals, her heart heavy with sorrow. One day, two strangers were captured, Orestes, her own brother, and his friend Pylades. They were brought to her for sacrifice. In the temple's shadow, Iphigenia recognized her brother, though years had passed. Tears streamed down her face as she cried, "Brother! The gods are cruel, but they have not severed our bond." Together they plotted an escape. By Artemis's will. Or perhaps by her mercy, they fled with her statue across the sea, carrying it to Greece. From then on, Artemis was honored not with blood, but with festivals of dance and light, a reminder that even the most fearsome gods may show compassion. In Broran, a sacred sanctuary of Artemis, a strange ritual was held for young girls approaching womanhood. They became arctoi, or bears, dancing in saffron robes, playing at wildness before they entered adult life. The myth behind it told of a bear sacred to Artemis, once tamed by humans. But when it mauled a girl, her brothers killed it. Enraged, Artemis sent plague until the Athenians decreed that their daughters must serve the goddess, playing the bear, in penance. The ritual was no mere game, it was a symbolic shedding of childhood, a dance between the wild and the civilized. Girls painted their faces, ran in mock hunts, and sang hymns to the goddess. Thus, Artemis was honored not only as the huntress of the forest, but as guardian of the fragile passage from innocence into womanhood. The nymph Arethusa, one of Artemis's companions, bathed in a stream one day when the river god Alpheus saw her and burned with desire. He pursued her relentlessly, his waters rushing, his voice echoing through the forest. "You cannot escape me, fair nymph. The river claims its own." Terrified, Arethusa fled, calling upon Artemis for aid. The goddess appeared, veiling her in mist, and transformed her into a stream that plunged beneath the earth, emerging far away in Sicily as the fountain of Arethusa. Thus, Artemis saved her handmaiden's purity, yet the chase itself revealed the constant threat against women in a world where desire was often stronger than law. Even now, Greeks told how the river Alpheus flows underground to join the fountain of Arethusa in Syracuse, as though the chase never truly ended. Two giants, Attis and Ephialtes, the Eloti, once sought to conquer Olympus. Their plan was to pile mountains atop one another, storm the heavens, and seize the goddesses as their brides. Artemis was their chosen prize. But cunning as well as fierce, she devised a trap. She transformed herself into a white doe and leapt between them. The giants, eager to capture her, each hurled their spears, and in their haste, struck one another dead. Thus, Artemis triumphed not by force, but by cleverness, proving that wit may be sharper than any arrow. Though Selene and Hecate were also moon goddesses, in many places Artemis herself was worshipped as the light of the night sky. Farmers prayed to her crescent for fertile fields, sailors guided their ships by her glow, and lovers walked beneath her radiance. But the moon was not always gentle. Under its pale light, wolves hunted, crimes were committed, and madness, the lunacy of men, took hold. Artemis embodied both sides. The calm glow that guarded travelers, and the cold, pitiless light that watched as death unfolded in silence. In this form she was called Phoebe, the Shining One, her silver bow mirrored in the arc of the crescent moon.